Hello, everyone. Well, today we're all practicing social distance. We're connecting with each other virtually. I guess we can say we're very lucky that we're living in this amazing technological era where we have FaceTime, we have Zoom, and all the many other ways to connect. Here at the shul, this week we did our Mommy and Me virtually via Zoom. We had our Lunch and Learn virtually. After Shabbat, my brothers and I, we did a musical kumzitz live on Facebook. And, this is what everyone's doing today. So I thought it would be appropriate that for this week's message, we should do this on video as well. So this past week, there was a fellow in Israel, Yedidya Mishulami, his name is. And he suggested that Passover, Pesach, this upcoming year should be pushed off by a month. And he explained that the reason for this was because, with everything that's happening, there's not enough time or enough resources. There's the lockdowns that are happening and people need more time, and we should therefore push off Passover by a month. Now, it seems like an interesting idea, but the truth is that this concept of pushing off Passover by a month is something which is actually done, believe it or not. When? This is done during a Jewish leap year. So what happens is that every 2 to 3 years, we add a complete new month to the Jewish calendar. Why? So biblically, the Torah tells us that Passover is supposed to take place during the springtime. Now, you may know that the Jewish calendar, or the Jewish year, is not a solar year. A solar year is 365 days. The Jewish year is more like 355 days or 54 or 53 days. So it would turn out that every 2 to 3 years, Passover would end up falling up prior to the spring because it's still behind the main year, and hence the need for a leap year where you add a complete month. We duplicate the month of Adar, the month of Purim actually, and we have Adar number 2 as a second month. So this Yedidya guide comes to the rabbinical courts and the judicial courts in Israel, and this past week and tried to put forth a case that they add the month. His appeal, though, was rejected. And the reason he was given was that only the Sanhedrin has the ability to do this and to add a month to create this leap year. Who was the Sanhedrin? The Sanhedrin was the biblical Supreme Court of Israel. And each year, they would determine, based on several factors, if there would be a need to add an additional month. Now today, the Sanhedrin is not in existence. And the way we observe leap years are based on the fixed calendar which the great sage Hillel had created about 1700 years ago. Now, Yedidya's claim to add another month may have some validity, but I think that it's exactly the opposite. By us keeping this year's Passover, Pesach, at the correct time, this can be the most beneficial. Think about it. Specifically now, we're all quarantined, we're stuck at home. This is a time when we need Passover the most. Every day we're reading stories, sad stories, unfortunate stories. You hear the negative news reports about this virus and all the horrible things that are happening. Many people are partially or fully out of work. No one knows what's going to happen tomorrow or even today. It's quite depressing. So how amazing is it that Passover is right around the corner? The holiday is coming in just on time when we need some good inspiration. We need to be lifted up to pick up our morale. The Seder is going to come. We're all going to take a few hours. We're going to drop our smartphones, step away from the computers for a little bit, forget about all the tsuras happening around us, and we'll be able to focus on celebrating the freedom of our people. And of course, you can't forget about all that great matzah we're going to eat. The Rebbe would always talk about the specialty of the matzah. And he would talk about the meaning of the matzah based on the Kabbalah. The Kabbalah teaches us that matzah is called the bread of faith and the bread of healing. The matzah reminds us, in essence, of our ancestors leaving Egypt and their faith in God. They were ready to take this very dangerous trek into the desert. They didn't know how they would survive even, but they put their full trust and belief in God and in Moses that everything will be well. So today, when we eat matzah, we are reminded of the faith of our ancestors. And that, in effect, gives us a boost of faith as well. And this faith leads us to the second specialty of the matzah, which is the bread of healing, as I said. When we have the true, unequivocal faith in God, we won't become sick spiritually and even physically. So, in essence, our faith in God is like a preventative cure that can help keep us safe, literally. So today, more than ever, is when we need Passover. So to push it off is definitely a no-no. I mean, if anything, we should bring it a little closer. We should have Pesach even today, maybe. So I want to wish everyone, let us hope and pray that by this year's Seder table, when we eat that matzah, the delicious, yummy matzah, or for some it tastes like cardboard, but that this will really bring us the strongest faith in Hashem, and that it should bring us, to the Jewish people, to the whole world, the complete and good health that we all truly need. And as we conclude on the Seder night, L'Shana Haba B'Yerushalayim, that already this year we should merit the ultimate redemption with the coming of Mashiach. May it be today. Shabbat Shalom.